Okay, welcome on in, guys. This is going to be my official tier list for the start of 2025. You've been waiting for this day for a very long time. I've had people ask me when I'm going to do a tier list, and I've always just kind of brushed it aside. I say, you know what, I'm not going to really bother, but you know what? I'm going to do it because rent's due, bro. So let's go over this tier list. Let me tell you, I'm going to have a few hot takes, I think. I think we should start with the poster boy himself, Mr. Garbage, Trapper, D tier. Terrible killer. He needs buffs. As a P100 Trapper myself, I will tell you this man is too slow, he's too clunky, and why does his power disappear when you run out of traps? Why doesn't it just display a 0? Makes no sense. But no, setting speed base kit would be so nice, dude. Setting speed base kit, I would literally bust. He would be so much better to play. He wouldn't be super strong or anything, but he would feel better. I feel like that's probably the most behavior can do. Before I go any further, this is not factoring in add-ons, because if I added add-ons into this tier list, Myers would be S tier because he's a Giga-Chad who can just kill people before they've even been hooked. Can't include add-ons until Myers gets those changes, and a few other add-ons here and there get toned down and adjusted. I can't. It would be an unfair tier list, and I would have to include everyone's add-ons or exclude all add-ons, and it's just easier to exclude add-ons. I might mention an add-on here and there, but this tier list is based off of base kit only. Okay, we're not doing any add-ons, we're not doing the best combos or anything like that. There will be perk builds factored into this, not add-ons. Wraith, B tier. Really good stealth and mobility. He's able to get the first hit fairly easily, and then he can close the gap right after. He just cloaks again, uncloaks when he's near someone, and lunges around the pal loop, gets a hit. Works every time. He has a decent chase interaction there. He does get fucked over a little bit if a pal's been dropped and he's cloaked. Survivors will just vault back and forth. Nothing you can really do other than uncloak there and take the L. Hillbilly, A tier. He would be S tier, but they did tone down his overheat or overdrive. I still mix up the mechanics in my brain. If I say overheat, I do mean overdrive. But overdrive did get nerfed. It has a longer cooldown now. It goes away quicker. And it also isn't as quick as it once was. The movement speed is a little bit slower, so he's more dependent on engravings than he once was. Still way better than he was before the overdrive changes, but he definitely needs add-ons to succeed at higher level play. But base kit wise, I'm going to put him A tier. Nurse, S tier. I don't think I really have to explain why. She goes through walls, goes through pallets, goes through your emails. She is insane. By far the best killer in the game. Behavior will never change her because she's a scapegoat. They can say their game's not pay to win because, hey, the strongest killer in our game is free to play. Yeah, that's where we are in society. Myers is D tier. They gave him some nice buffs recently. Sped up his gameplay quite a bit, but he still has the same penalties with tier 1, just less so. And he still has really nothing to offer in tier 2 or 3 other than a small Tatarius and insta down. With the faster vault speed with Bamboozle or Dark Arrogance, you can kind of start to cook a little bit, but he's still just Myers at the end of the day. Just pre-drop against him when he's in tier 3 and play safe. Otherwise, just stay healed and watch your back. Keep your head on a swivel. He doesn't really have anything to stop you from doing that. Hag. Hag is a pretty divisive killer because you either think she's completely dog shit or she's somewhat decent. I think she's probably going to be about B tier for me. Now, how most people play Hag is they try to be a respectful human being who takes a shower. You can't do that. You have to play like a little bitch. You have to camp hooks 3-gen. That's the way you do it. You get a web of traps sorted out. The more you play nice and fair is the more you lose as Hag, and the faster that happens. If you throw those fake rules out the window and you start playing like a bastard, you will get insane value from her phantasm traps even without add-ons. A very, very respectable killer. Doctor, I'm gonna put in B tier, not D tier, B tier as well. He got a bunch of changes over the last year to both static blast and shock therapy. He has discipline and range base kit. He also has his cooldown add-ons base kit and then some. He has 2 different cooldowns for blast. It's either 45 seconds if he hits a survivor and raises up madness. Otherwise, it's 30 seconds. So he can kind of spam his ability nonstop. He gets lots of game and delay as well as lots of info, and his ability to end chases is pretty respectful as well. This is amplified with add-ons, and I would highly encourage you to still use his best discipline add-on at the very least, because even with the 0.8 second delay, I still feel personally like it's just not quite fast enough, but at the same time making it faster makes it even more annoying for survivors. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation there. Next is Huntress, easily A tier. I have no idea why the fuck behavior decided to buff her like a year ago. It's one of the most out of touch changes I've ever seen in my entire life. She has and always has been an A tier killer. Great map pressure, great ability to snowball. She can end chases very quickly, high skill ceiling, decent skill floor. She's just a force to be reckoned with. I don't know why they would change her, give her 7 hatches base kit with wind up. What the fuck? Really strong killer, and now everybody hates her because you see her every single game. And why wouldn't you play her? I mean, she's fun to play, she feels good, and she shuts a lot of loops down pretty easily. She does struggle with high wall loops, that's why she's not S tier, but quite honestly, she's pretty disgusting. Leatherface is a C tier killer. He feels okay to play. He has a couple pretty crippling bugs though. If you get stunned at the right time when you're using your chainsaw, you're out of luck. No more power for the rest of the game. That feels pretty bad. He also has a bug with his acceleration. So his chainsaw is supposed to take, I believe, 0.6 seconds to ramp up to full speed. Yeah, that's currently taking over 1 whole second because of how they've coded it. It's been bugged since Binding of Kin. That's patch 4.4. Since Twins' release, they still haven't fixed it. If they fixed that, he would feel so much better and actually be able to catch up to survivors and loops again. He wouldn't be reliant on things like engravings. Now, they did bump up his speed and duration quite a bit compared to how he was before, but that bug not going resolved has basically made those changes irrelevant. Like, yeah, the longer duration is nice, but that now means you have to spend even longer reaching max acceleration, so it ends up doing absolutely nothing. So yeah, he has some decent flicks and pallet pressure potential, but he can't really do more than that. So currently he's a pretty C tier killer. Freddy, oh Freddy, he is going from D tier. He would be right about here. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I had to check my webcam to make sure I'm not in the way. Yeah, Freddy D tier before PTB. I don't know what behavior is doing to him from PTB to live. Based off of what I saw on PTB, I'm going to put him probably either C or B. I'm leaning more towards C as far as base kit, because yeah, his teleport's a little bit nicer now, his dream pallets have more uses, and his snares are way better. But guys, he's still just kind of shit. Like, he's not bad, okay? It's not like he's not gonna get buffs from PTB. I'm sure he's gonna get something. Just like, bro, why wouldn't I just play Clown, who I am going to get to soon? The Pig, I'm going to also put in... Yeah, I'll put in C tier, probably bottom C. Here's the thing with Pig, right? I think a lot of people just stack mass slowdown on her, and then they just expect people to just die with her head traps. Guys, they've nerfed head traps to hell and back. That shit's not useful anymore. It's literally just game delay. It does not kill people. Stop using tampered timer, I swear to God. The trick with Pig, guys, just use the grease add-on, bro. Just do some dashes around the loops. I think even base kit is pretty decent. If you play her as a pseudo chase killer, pretty good. Now you still lose, but it doesn't feel as bad as it did before. And she does have some nice slowdown. Also, there's that build. You know what build I'm talking about. I don't even have to say it. You know the add-on combination. You know the perks. I'm not including that, but you know the build. You've seen it. 𝗥𝗴𝗂𝗘𝗏𝗄, top of C. I don't know why he wouldn't be top of C. At least with the current roster right now. He slows you down by 15%. He speeds himself up by 10%. And he basically gets you to drop every single pallet right away. There's even times when, yeah, you drop the pallet, but it doesn't matter because he'll break it with brutal strength and then you're still slowed and then he speeds himself up and he gets the hit before you can even get to another tile. Insane. Really good. Now, is he an awesome killer? Fuck no. He's 𝗥𝗴𝗂. He's terrible. But he does have chase pressure and he can end chases quickly. Unfortunately, that's all he can do. So, Spirit, how the mighty have fallen. Fuck. A tier. She used to be S. A lot of people still think she's S. I think she's A. Now, again, not including add-ons, but I will mention this. Having duration negatively impact your power recharge is the stupidest fucking thing I have ever heard. Very few, and I mean very few other killers have this. How would you feel if you were playing Legion and you brought Never Sleep pills and your power took 40 seconds to recharge? That's why I hate that Spirit nerf in particular. Now, I will admit she was overpowered. She's less overpowered now. She's still really strong in some ways, and it's more or less just an accessibility nightmare. But she still has potential to end chases. I don't think she's going to be a particularly long-lasting killer, though. I would honestly expect Spirit to get some changes sooner rather than later. More so towards her add-ons. I think her base kit's largely fine other than some accessibility problems. But I think her base kit's largely in a good spot. And she has a lot of ways to succeed with map pressure, with the ability to catch people off guard with her phase, and of course, the ability to end chases, which is extremely valuable these days. Legion. Fucking D tier, bro. Listen, I might be a Legion main, but I'm not delusional, okay? I'm not storing that Never Sleep pills or cold dirt up my nose. This killer is ass. If you genuinely think Legion is good, you are delusional. He has no way of ending chases. His power is entirely in the survivor's control, and it literally only functions if they're brain dead as fuck. Terrible killer. Plague. Plague is going to definitely be somewhere up in A tier. I'm going to put her above hundreds. The thing Plague can do really, really well is snowball. And that is what's keeping her from sinking down the roster. All it takes is one person to cleanse or to get a nice spawn of corrupt, ingest that shit, and just wipe the whole team with infectious fright. It's insane. She's really, really strong. And honestly, I'm kind of glad more people don't play her. She's insane. ghostface. Somewhere in C? I think maybe here. Bottom C. Maybe top of D. Ghostface can be countered by looking at him. He thankfully can end chases with his exposed if you don't have sprint burst. And he can sneak up on people. So you kind of want to heal against him. It's sort of like a Wraith scenario where you want to heal because if you're injured, he knows where you are, he can hear you, but you don't know that he's coming because he's undetectable and he's in a shroud. So you kind of got to heal, gives him some game delay, but he doesn't have mobility and he doesn't really have any real anti-loot. He can end chases before they start if he stalks you, but that often requires him investing multiple marks into you. He stalks you a bit, gets revealed, chases you around, marks you again, or maybe he comes back to you later. He has to basically lose a chase to then win a chase. So he basically gets a net neutral. It's just kind of whatever. They've tried buffing him by making his mark faster, his recharge quicker. Honestly, the biggest issue I think with Ghostface right now is just like his reveal. Like, why do hooked survivors still reveal him as quick as they do? Honestly, with anti-camp, maybe they could just remove that entirely. Maybe people in the dying state take longer to reveal him by default. I don't know, man. I feel like Ghostface is kind of a lost cause. I'm not really sure what else you could do other than fixing reveal and making those two adjustments to down and hook people. I really don't know, man. I think he's just destined to be shit because he plays a gimmicky playstyle. You play a gimmicky playstyle, you get gimmicky prizes, man. That's how it goes. Demogorgon. This is gonna be a solid B tier killer, probably above yeah, above Wraith. He has mobility with his new portal buffs that actually feels pretty good. He has his shred, which is his real power, and that is a beast of a power. He ends chases like that. He shreds and locks down Shack completely, LTs completely, Longwells completely. He's a god. He's really strong, really viable in the current meta, and he kind of always has been. He's received basically nothing but buffs. I think he's received like maybe 1 or 2 nerfs over the years. That might have just been for add-ons though. He really has kind of just aged like fine wine, and people just love him despite him being just a zoning killer in disguise. It's like some Scooby-Doo shit, like the killer's in broad view in his disguise. No one realizes he's just like Nemesis, an artist. He has the same function. He just zones you and gets a hit, but nobody wants to talk about that because he's a demo puppy and he's just a cute guy. So Oni, I think, is going to go in A tier. He's better than Spirit. If he, of course, gets a hit. Now, that's a big if, because sometimes you get a hit right off the bat, and that's great. Other times, 3 gens pop, but you still kick ass. So, you know, he's a snowballing killer. Bring Infectious Fright, you'll have a good time. If you don't bring Infectious Fright, yeah. Deathslinger. C tier? Sounds reasonable to me. Somewhere in here. Maybe, nah, below Freddy. He can deal a health state from a distance, like Huntress, but he doesn't work the same. He has to shoot you, reel you in, and then hit you again. Basically, he has to hit you 4 times to get 1 down. Now, theoretically, you can use his stun to your advantage, especially if you have stun add-ons, so that you recover quicker in certain scenarios, but that still doesn't really accomplish much other than making him feel better to play in those very specific scenarios. He's a great user of Save the Best for Last, or at least was until they nerfed it. So now if you shoot someone who is the obsession, not only do you lose 2 stacks because you hit them with your harpoon, but you then also lose another 2 stacks when they either break free or you hit them. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, he kind of has just gone down the shitter. Honestly, the changes they made to him in 2v8 felt great. Give him a 2-second reload, make him move a lot faster when reeling and reloading, and I think he'd be in a much better spot. Ultimately, I don't think really those changes will make him necessarily better, just more time efficient. Outside of maybe increasing his harpoon range, I don't know what they could really do. Pyramid Head. This killer frightens me to my core. He's going to go somewhere in A tier. Now, I personally am absolutely terrible at Pyramid Head. If you have ever seen me play him or request me to play him on stream, you will feel immense agony watching me play. I am terrible at this killer, but I have played against some absolutely foul motherfuckers with this killer. They will tunnel you to Hell's Gates and back. It is insane. His real power really is that he can tunnel the shit out of people. We live in a meta where survivors comfortably use 1, sometimes 2 or more anti-tunnel or perks that work after hooking or getting hooked. So yeah, he kind of shuts that shit down. And his chase power is very oppressive. It puts you in a lot of lose-lose scenarios. If you run out the window and you fake it, he gets the M1. If you run through the pallet and fake it, he gets the M1. If you drop the pallet, he hits you in animation and gets a hit with his M2. If you vault the window, he hits you with his M2. If you are unhooking, he hits you with his M2. Better yet, he waits for you to do the unhook and then hits 2 people, then goes after the other person again and then hooks their ass or cages them. So he has a lot of things that make him insane. Sorry, my throat's like kind of dry. I'm like chugging this coffee when I can. It's not helping, man. Pyramid Head A tier. I would put him higher if I had more experience playing him. Okay, but I'm not stupid. I get he's strong. I just can't personally give you a better ranking than this because quite honestly, I'm terrible at him and I probably will always be because he feels clunky to play. I don't like clunk in my games. I play games to have fun, not to be frustrated. Blight. Yes. For 3 fucking years. Maybe more. I forget. How long has he been in the game? He's still S tier. At one point, you could debate he could be even stronger than Nurse. That's how strong he was. Now, he's been nerfed quite a bit ever since. His add-ons have been toned down. Luckily, that has nothing to do with this. It's just his base kit, and he's still cracked. He is absolutely insane. Very, very good killer. Base kit, he's good, but he's fair. I rest my case. I think his base kit is good. Add-ons might need some tuning. The twins. Oh, yeah, this is a tough cookie, man. I'm gonna put probably somewhere in B with the idea that you're playing to slug. If you're not playing to slug, you lose. If you play for hooks, you auto lose, okay? If you play to slug, oh, fuck it, A tier. With Pyramid, I'll put him even better because he's easier to play. Twins, holy shit. You got one good slug going. It's over, they've lost. The only winning move with twins is to group up and heal. And it's just to make sure that no matter what you do, you stay healed and with a teammate if they're injured at all times. So you kick Victor and res the guy that just got down. If you don't do those 2 things, if even one of the 4 survivors in your team fucks up once, you lose. That feels horrible and is very big stakes. Very, very big stakes. The Trickster. The only thing this killer fucking tricks you into thinking is that he's good. He is a terrible killer. Honestly, I don't think he's very good. He's probably about here. He asked it 1 survivor 8 times to take 1 health state. He has a baseball bat and he moves at 4.6. That's pretty much it. They nerfed him pretty hard, honestly. 8 knives at 4.6, terrible. He was much better at 6 knives. If you ask like any Trickster main, they will tell you the old Trickster was stronger. I know of not 1, not 2, actually just 2 Trickster mains that have basically quit Trickster because he's just so shit. So yeah, and one of the 2 just has like a love-hate relationship. They just play them because they're addicted. So yeah, Trickster, he can end chases. It just takes him a while. Kind of like Old Legion. Nemesis. B tier. Awesome. I love Nemesis. Big old whip of meat that hits over pallets and through windows, man. It's good time. Good time to get spanked around. No, he's fun. He's fun. He's good. His zombies are really stupid and often make mistakes or get stuck. And honestly, I'm compelled to just ignore that part of his power. His M2 alone carries him. He's really, really good. He's an easier version of Pyramid Head, with the exception that his attack has a shorter range and doesn't go through objects. It can go over things, but at the same time that it can go over things, survivors can crouch to dodge it. So there's actually a lot more counterplay to it than like most killer powers. However, it is a lot weaker as well, and you have to literally get into mutation rate 3 to have a good time. His new buffs, I say new, it happened like maybe a year ago at this point or half a year ago. They increased his range in mutation rate 3, and they also reduced its attack cooldown if you hit someone by a little bit, and that has honestly helped him quite a lot. So I really love Nemesis quite a bit. Pinhead, without add-ons, man, it's kind of sad. I'm gonna put him in B. With add-ons, he's probably quite a bit higher, but I feel like he kind of needs those add-ons. Like if you're not running the Eerie box or you're not running original pain and camping hooks, good luck, man. Sincerely, I think what Pinhead probably needs is some kind of a decent buff to his chain hunt to give you more time to get chases with your possessed chains. I think his chase power is fine as is. I think chain hunt and the box could probably use some tweaking. I don't know what. It's not my job to do that. Oh no. Oh no, this is a hard killer to rank as the artist. The artist. The artist. I don't know where to place her because I suck at artist. So what do? I watch other people play. You know what other people do when they play artist? They go for map long shots from across the map and they get like 1 kill a game. I have, outside of the comp scene, I have not seen the artist played in a way that seems any better than like half the roster. So because I don't play her very much, if at all, haven't played against her in months, and I don't see people performing very well with her online, I can't rank her any higher than B. I genuinely can't. What's to her a disadvantage? Holding W, jumping in the locker across the map or in chase to get rid of the crow. Grouping up to take a crow hit? Oh fuck. Yeah, why the fuck would you subject yourself to? What am I saying? I play Legion. I don't care. Not my killer. Maybe she's better. Maybe she's worse. Not my killer. Not my problem. Not my box. I'm gonna open up here. I'm good, bro. The Onryo. Yeah, this killer I'm gonna put probably somewhere in C tier. Maybe. It's another twin situation, man. If you don't slug like a bitch, you kind of just fucking lose. Oh, B tier, fuck it, whatever, man. I don't care anymore. One of the things, and this is gonna come up with a few other killers, if you bring coin offerings or things that change chest spawns, and that messes with your power. So you can have like a coin offering play, and because it's taking priority over your TVs, you can have TVs in the middle of nowhere and then 2 chests would replace those TVs, because a TV is always supposed to spawn very close to a generator. That way you could pressure gens, obviously. You can't do that. She doesn't really have a power, so you can't get from point A to point B where you need to be. So her map mobility gets neutered by literally a chest offering. But if she slugs and uses condemned really often to get people early stage, like 3 or 4 condemned stacks in the early game, she can snowball off of that alone. So I don't know, man. Just go watch One Pump. He'll probably tell you what's up. Dredge. Probably the most map dependent killer in the game. It's weird. Normally I would say Legion, but the thing with Dredge is that he needs lockers for his power to do like literally anything, whereas Legion just needs like people to fuck up and be close together. Just because they buffed him, I'm not going to put him in D, but I'm not going to rank him very high. He's probably going to be around here somewhere. Yeah, that sounds about right. I always do really, really well against a Dredge as a survivor. I pretty much like never die to him. His Nightfall, he's a little bit stealthier in it than he once was, and the penalty for getting out of a locked locker is a bit quicker as well. He's still just kind of shit. I don't know, man. I like that they made his teleport speed faster when you're not in Nightfall, and they made Nightfall charge quicker too. So no, I can't put him any higher than C. I really can't. If he uses his power, he slows down quite a bit, gives you time to hold W. If he teleports to a locker or does really anything, he loses Bloodlust, so you can't use his power if he's trying to get Bloodlust. 1 fake is all it takes for him to maybe mess up and take away his remnant. Yeah, I don't think I can put him any higher than C. Maybe he's better than Pig. I don't know, man. At least Pig has game delay. That's probably where I'm gonna stand on that. 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗂, the Wesker, the mastermind, somewhere in A. Probably as good or maybe slightly worse than Spirit. I don't know. He's around here. The thing with Wesker, right, is he gets multiple chase powers. He can instantly down you and grab you and put you on his shoulder if you're fully condemned. He slows you down with hindered if you're fully condemned. He can dash up to 2 times. First time shorter, second time is normal length. And grab you and throw you either into a dead zone, into a wall, or smash you against an obstacle of any kind. And he can vault windows and pallets, sometimes able to get a body block or a cheeky hit. Yeah. A tier. A tier. He's definitely worse than he once was, though, because of the changes they made to him by making it so that his infection resets back to 0 when you get hooked, and by making the hindered only 4% instead of 8%. So he's weaker than he once was, but his power does recharge a little bit quicker now. You basically always have the equivalent of 1 survivor infected now. Instead of taking 6 seconds to recharge 1 token, it takes 5.5. So it's sped up a little bit. Add-ons would elevate him, but I think base kit's A tier. Knight. The Knight is a little tricky. I think I'm gonna put the Knight in B tier though. He's one of those killers where you kind of want to play like a dick. Like it's like a hag or a twins or an Onryo. Is if you play him like a normal person, just got off a 9 to 5, you're gonna lose, and you're gonna go to the forums, make a 10-hour-long rant about how your favorite killer is trash. When really you're just not playing him the way he's going to excel in. Like you want to play him like a dick. Proxy, camp, slug, patrol 3 gens. There's a good few tools you can do. When I look at Knight, I look at Choi. Choi's gameplay. 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗂. He did like a slugging streak, or not a slugging streak, but a slugging experiment with Knight, I think. He did some slugging shit with Knight, and it was insane. So if you just play like a masochist on Knight, you are going to slaughter everybody. Skull Merchant doesn't have a power, man. Doesn't have a power. Singularity. This killer is absolutely cracked. Absolutely fucking disgusting. I remember when I put this killer in S tier a long time ago, like maybe a year or 2 ago, and people were like, you're insane, you're dumb, average Legion main moment, stupid idiot. Have you seen 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗄𝗆 play this fucking killer? Dude, if you don't think she's S, you're actually insane. She, he, it, AI android motherfucker. This shit is crazy, bro. He is insanely good. Okay, even without add-ons, he can snowball. He has game delay. EMPs against the average Joe do jack shit. Again, this is not comp, okay? If this was comp, this tier list would be all out of whack because I'm going to be following some made-up bullshit rulebook, okay? This is real matches, live games. Singularity is an absolute menace to society. Absolutely crazy after the changes they made to him. He's way easier to play now, so the level that you need to be at to actually even be decent with him is lowered. His best add-on was made base kit. Oh, he is incredibly strong. Incredibly strong. And don't even get me started on like, oh, the map offerings you could do with this shit too. It's insane. RPD, Midwich. The list grows, man. I actually am like, when I load in, I see one of those 3D printers. Xeno. What a way to fumble a license, bro. What a way to fumble a license. I'm gonna put Xeno below Clown. Your power is dependent on motherfuckers who bring coin offerings. You have a worse tentacle attack The Nemesis tier 1. Tier 1 is worse. His fully upgraded default tail attack is worse than Nemesis in tier 1. Bro, his portals or his tunnels are so inconvenient to use compared to a killer like Demo. This killer's a laughing stock. His power is taken away by a flame turret, bro, and his add-ons are cheeks. This killer is shit. Now he does have mobility, and he does have a way to end chases, but that's the only thing keeping him afloat, bro. Xeno is trash. he's pretty fucking bad. It's okay though, because there's no counterplay to the tail attack. You can't react to it. No, that's not me taking the piss. I'm actually being serious. There is no counterplay. You just hope he misses. That being said, flame turrets. 𝗥cie. Man. I'm gonna put him down here, bro. No manual scamper. So John Scamper's gone. Slice and dice is really slow compared to where it was. The duration makes up for it, but it just takes you longer to get to where you need to be. You can't intercept the loop or get to the person in time, so the extra duration doesn't matter. You're not using his power just for mobility. You're using it for mobility, you're using it for chases, getting from point A to point B to catch someone off guard. There's all kinds of reasons you use it, all of which have been nerfed. So yeah, he is not even remotely as good as he once was. He is a very, very bad killer. He went from being mid to being really good to being shit. Yeah. Horrible. Unknown. I don't know. That's not a joke, I swear. I'm gonna put her, him, they somewhere. Ah, fuck it. They're going there. I closed my eyes. There you go. That's where the unknown's going. I have no reason or backing for this. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Moving on to 𝗥cie. 𝗥cie, I'm going to put probably around B somewhere. I gotta think, what's a comfortable spot? You got fly. You have your sphere, which disables. No, I got nerfed. His spells, man. There's really only 2 spells you are using actively, I think. That's the pallet, hold, or pick up, and then his Flight of the Damned. You can put a Flight of the Damned literally on where the survivor is and just instantly hit them. Yeah, I guess there are some things you can fly over, certain windows and pallets, especially if it leads to a drop down. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put 𝗥cie about here. We're gonna call this section in particular the I don't fucking know section. I think that's a good place to put them. Dracula. Ooh, baby. I'm gonna put Drac in S. Oh yeah, I am. Oh, you bet I am. This guy is insane. Now, he's been nerfed a bit, but he's still really good. The thing that made him like over the top insane was Medusa's hair, and that other add-on. I forget what it's called. I think it's just like the rock or something, the stone. Those 2 add-ons combined let him block windows that he teleported to, and also would hinder people anytime he teleported to anything. So he was really strong with those add-ons. Without those add-ons, he's definitely still very, very good. His main strength is kind of like he has the ability to like instantly cloak like Wraith, but with a faster like exiting time. So he doesn't have like a 3-second window where he moves really slow, bing bong. He does a bat, and then he turns into Wolfman, and then goes pounce, pounce, hit, or he goes into Vampire Man, and he suck your cock, I mean blood. He suck your blood, and he get the hit. So he does that, and he can transform a lot of the time during chases. He can teleport, get some good map mobility. He has decent tracking. His wolf and vampire forms can be used interchangeably in chases for a multitude of situations. He's a very bloated kit, but he's good. I don't have shit to say other than he's solid, really. Anything else, I'd just be yapping. Houndmaster, she's had some time to settle, and I think without add-ons, yeah, I'm gonna put her probably somewhere in B. I'm not gonna put her in the goofy aw section though. I'm gonna put her probably about here. Here's the thing with Houndmaster, right? She's just a souped up Deathslinger. Like realistically, that's all she is. She can get from point A to point B, which Deathslinger can't. She moves at 4.6, and she has a little bit of tracking. But to get actual downs, she has to work more or less the same way Deathslinger can. The only real difference is she has mobility and he doesn't. And that's where I think I'm going to end this tier list. I don't think I want to move anybody around. Doing so would probably invalidate some of my other opinions. And by all means, give me your own opinions on your tier list below. Just don't be a dick. If you're a dick, I'm just going to not respond or just not read you entirely. I think people who argue over tier lists, I think it's just kind of cringe. If you want to see more videos like this, don't be a fucking asshole. I think is the way to do it. Yeah, this has been with the Freddy PTB included, no add-ons, base kit only, with almost 10,000 hours of gameplay. So yeah, that's my opinion on the Dead by Daylight killer roster, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it was cringe enough.